Welcome. In this video, we're going to take our assembled puzzle cube and we're going to turn it into some dimension drawings. So just make sure if you were in other work environments, you're back in the design environment to get this one started off. And we're looking at your assembled puzzle cube. All right, I've got the 3D print menu open over here. I'm going to hit escape to clear me out of that as well. All right, and there's two ways that we can start this drawing off. We can come to the work environment and we could go down to drawing from design. The other way we can do this is we can just pick the top part over here on our browser bar. And if you don't see your browser bar, it might be collapsed. You can hit these two arrows here and it'll reappear. And if I right click on my part name, I can go to create drawing. Now, because this is the first drawing I've made of a part of this puzzle cube file, over here where it says destination, I want to do create new drawing. And then for template, I want to have the Spartan Manufacturing template selected. If you don't have the Spartan Manufacturing template as an option, you may need to go back and watch some previous videos on that. And so now that we've got those done, I'm going to go ahead and click on OK. My computer's going to think a little bit, and it's going to open up a drawing sheet for me here. After it thinks a little more. All right, so this is my drawing sheet. This part that I'm pulling around, you'll remember, is what we call our base view. Okay, typically we're going to assign the base to the front view of our object. And I know it's been a couple weeks since we've done this, so it's just a quick reminder. Good front view is going to show the best profile of the shape. It's going to have few hidden lines, if any, and it's also going to have the shape's longest axis kind of oriented left to right. Okay? So right now I've got the longest axis going up and down. I don't think that's going to be very good for me. So what I want to do is come over here where it says orientation, right? Even though it assigned the front view to this, that's not the best front view to draw it out in. Right? And I'm just going to pick another one and I'll drag it out. Now that I've got this on this screen, I think this does show me the best profile. I know there's not going to be any hidden lines here, but it doesn't have the longest axes running left to right. And I would say it's also not in its most stable position or its most natural position either. Right? So I think it's a good view, but I need to use the rotate tool here in just a second. Okay? The other thing I think I could do is it looks pretty tiny. If this is going to be my front view, I've got more than enough space for a top and a right side and a 3D view. So I'm going to switch the scale from 1 to 2 to just 1. All right, and I'll bring it out here. I think this is going to be a nicer scale for me to use on this project. Okay, so I'm going to place my base view, then I'll click OK. And like I said, I think it's a good base view. It just needs to get rotated around. So I'm going to come up to the modify area now and click on the rotate button. And so what the rotate asks you to do is it asks you to select a view. So I got to click my view first. Then I need to come over here and hit the transform button. And I need to pick a base point that I'm going to rotate this on. All right, and then I want to rotate it to a 90-degree angle increment. So over here, you'll notice as I move this around, it goes from 0 to, oh, now my screen's glitching out. I think I'm way zoomed in here. Oh, my screen's glitching out again. Okay, we're going to be patient. Come on, Fusion, you can do it. Close some other windows. Maybe I'm using too much computing power. All right, and I'm going to hit Control Z a few times there. It seems to have fixed it. All right, so we're going to try this rotate one more time. I'm going to select my view. I'm going to pick my base point. And as I was saying, when we rotate this, we want to rotate it in increments of 90 degrees. So if you look over towards the right on my screen, you'll notice it says angle at 90. That's what I want to see. Okay? Now, I think this is a good front view. It shows a nice profile. There's no hidden lines. Its longest axis is running left to right. It's in its most stable position. So I think this is good. The only thing I want to do is move this view down now to this lower left-hand corner. So I'm going to, again, use the move command where I pick it. I'll pick a base point and I'll drag this down to like there. And you might end up doing this with all of your shapes. You might get lucky and they might all come in with the best front view chosen. It just kind of depends on what your cube looks like. Okay, now I'm going to go to the project button. I'll pick my base view and I'm going to drag a top view up, right view over, and an isometric view up and to the right. And now this will let me keep popping out views. I only need those 3 additional views, so I'm going to click escape to free me from that. And then I'm going to come here to my isometric and I want to double click it, and I'm going to click the shaded button. Right, typically this one gets a little larger or a little smaller scale to set it off, so I might set my scale for this one at 1.5. I like what I've got. I just need to take and hold down on my mouse and I can drag this 3D view over a little bit. So it's one of those everything I need to know I learned in kindergarten sorts of things. I want to make sure none of my objects are touching or extending outside of the border line. All right, so this looks good. We're going to do this with all of our parts, and then we're going to come back and add some dimensions. Okay, so I'll show you how to put a second part in just a moment. First, we need to save this because it says untitled up here. So we can click on the disk. All right, we want to make sure that we're saving this puzzle cube drawing in that same puzzle cube file. So mine always defaults to that cutting board because 12 is the first in the alphabet here of projects that I've got. So I want to find my puzzle cube. All right, and I'm going to click save to pick that as my location. Oh, all right, and now it says puzzle cube drawing up top here. So I know that I've got what I want. All right, so this next part's fairly simple. I'm going to jump back to the puzzle cube design environment. You can see I got 2 tabs open up here. Now I'm going to go through the same steps for the yellow one. So I'll right click. I'm going to go to create drawing. This time under destination, instead of create new, I'm going to add this to my puzzle cube drawing, which is that drawing file we just saved. And then I can click on OK. And it's going to come up with a blank sheet of paper. And again, this base view doesn't look like it's going to show me, yeah, I don't have hidden lines. You know, I might tip it down just so that it's in a more stable position, but that one's not too bad. Yeah. And I'm going to switch my scale up to 1. All right, so again, I like the location of it. I guess this wouldn't be that bad. I don't have any hidden lines here. So now I can start projecting some views up. I can project my view over. I can put my view up top. All right, and then remember we want to shade this one in. So we're going to click our style tile. We want to change the scale of this ever so slightly. So we'll make it a little bit bigger. And then we want to make sure that we're staying inside of our lines. And so I like the look of that one. Again, I can hit the save button. All right. And then you're going to do this 3 more times on your own, coming from this file here. So you're going to right click and drop them in again. If you've got questions, see me, and I would be glad to help you out with this.